Shalom, everyone. Let's talk. This is a big message, okay? I know I got cut off on my other message. I wasn't going to post it, but I might as well. Listen. What are you doing? What does Meghan Markle and her rich white woman problems have to do with us? Can we get out of the burning building before we start fixing other people's problems? Do you not see that they're doing everything in their power to distract you and you're falling for it hook, line, and sinker again? This is why the world treats us like doormats, because we fall for things so easily. This is why the Most High refers to our people as the hoes of Babylon, because we love to take on the ways of the heathen. This is the main idea around everything he's trying to tell you. He's trying to tell you, listen, codependency is not what you should be doing. You shouldn't be codependent on these wicked nations. You should be independent of them because that's where your strength lies. But you're not getting this. Every 5 minutes they throw a new wrench in everything and you jump, you run for it. Ooh, new shiny thing. What? But you know Megan was going through racism. That's self-inflicted. Honey, the woman saw the level up. She went, she got it. And the level up got side effects. Next, learn from it, move on. She got enough money right now to fix all her white woman problems. I'm not sure why you out here getting a hot, fessy mess over this. Had she took a little time and really delved into the history of, her dearly beloved, then she would have made wiser decisions, hopefully. But now here we are again. You want to clean up somebody's mess? She saw the glam, she saw the glitter, kind of like Obama. And they went for it anyway. And now here they are throwing you in a tailspin over their marital issues. They can pay for the most priciest doctors and therapists to fix that. But who's going to fix our situation? Huh? Who's going to fix our situation? You like the deflection. This is how we look. Y'all don't believe me when I say white people are literally the reflection of our sins. Like, they do big deflections. You do too. It's like whatever it is that you do, they do just as well, probably worse. But you're deflecting. You don't see these people study us. We're a social experiment. This social media that you love so much, this is what they use to tell what do black people gravitate towards the most. Drama. Marital issues or marital bonding, bliss. And all they got to do is based off of their conclusions, they put that together, start a new distraction. Black people, you really need to do better. It's a reason why they're doing what they do. Okay? We've already told you about the time is short. But you're not quite understanding this. This is why the scripture says, for lack of knowledge, my people perish. I want this to completely marinate in your head. For lack of knowledge, my people perish. What knowledge are you lacking that will cause you to perish? Because ignorance ain't bliss. Ignorance isn't power. Ignorance will take you to that place. And my most disliked Bible verse is, there is no rest for the wicked. Okay? Instead of you focus on ensuring that you are not the wicked, you're out here trying to help out the wicked. I'm sorry, but I would like to know how his family really organized our people into, groups when they took us, because they have all the archives, or at least know who has it. Yeah, her husband's people. I ain't gonna call his name. Okay. They have all the archives. They know why our people were brainwashed and conditioned and don't know where we come from. So you out here fiddling with the small bits, and I can't even arc. You too? You falling for the oak of smoke? Golly. Not only, I know I said Trump was a distraction, I should have just broadened it out. They're all a distractions. From your TV to the internet to the social media to the politics to your church, all of it. But why is all this going on? It's always been about you. No, it's not about them. No, they're not the Gentiles that the Most High is talking about in the scriptures. Let's just get all the way to it, right? What was the biggest difference between Jacob and Esau besides some physical disparities? Really think about this. They came from the same mother, same womb, same bloodline, brothers. Let's think of this in a broader sense of who they really are. The mindset, how they thought, that's the biggest difference. Jacob wanted to preserve, protect, and practice the ways of his forefathers. He valued what the Most High gave, the law. He represented that. He wanted it. And every bit of what the Most High had to give. Esau, on the flip side, didn't. He rejected it. And for the worst thing, too, for a plate of food. For something so, like, he devalued the worth of the Most High's kingdom and his stuff to some food. He didn't fight for it. He went around and spread his wild oats. I want y'all to follow me with this, because we're going deep. Spread his wild oats left, right, and center. He profaned his ancestors' truth. He disrespected it. He held nothing sacred. He was highly sacrilegious. He was the epitome of scorning the ways of the Most High. He didn't practice it. He didn't hold it in respect or regards or high regards at all. He did get the blessing, but it didn't mean anything to him. Which goes on, if you go in the book of Daniel, you'll see what I'm talking about. He's talking about the different mindsets of our people. The ones of our people, the natural, Romans, hold on, let's go into the book of Romans 1 second. Those who accept the truth as it is. We're not trying to sugarcoat. We're not trying to cherry pick. We're not trying to change anything or the meaning of it. Talking about you are what your father is. We know he was only talking to Israel. So I don't know how you're factoring anybody else in this, son of perdition. Because it's only you who would make these mistakes, Esau. You want us to focus only on the fleshy Esau when the real Esau that he's talking about is you. Sorry about that, y'all. Hello, break. Because someone's knocking on my door. Anytime when I'm getting deep in a message, always some distractor coming to cut it off. But, well, where were we? We were talking about the Esau's of our people. The ones who profane the word and the holiness of our people by giving you erroneous doctrine. Hold on to that word, error. Teaching you in error, mistake, giving you failings. Okay? They have been purposely and strategically placed to give you misinformation. Who sent them? The star people, synagogue of Satan. The people who took your place. Even Megan's little family. Don't play yourself. Do you know why all this orchestration happened? Because they want you to bring back biracials as your people. I know the Brews probably like, X, no, but some of y'all will. You still on this, you are what your father is. Get the hell out of here. Go somewhere. I rebuke you, son of perdition. Go take a vaccine. Listen to your little star heads that told you to take it. Because whether you believe it or not, I see the blessing and the curse in this. And I'm only warning those of you who want to listen. If you don't want to be counted in the pile of the wicked, because the reapers are here. The sword is here. Are they not warning you? You out here talking about Meghan? Really? You think that's the biggest thing you should be talking about? Are you done with your message? She don't got nothing to do with us. Okay? Lady wanted high titles. People before her rejected that title because they knew it would come down to this. She was specifically selected. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Leave it alone. Back to things that matter. Okay? All right? We as a people, and some of y'all on a good day, you admit this, that we don't have no friends. And then you go back to, well, we got some friends. We got some white allies, or should we say white all lies? Because you can't hold a focused mindset to save your life. And this is why I'm not on the internet as much, because whether you believe it or not, they are conditioning and programming your mind to have the attention span of a 2-year-old, if not lower. Terrible twos. That's what they're conditioning your mindset to. But not only that, even in this, they are pushing you to accept the influence of your 44 president again. Because you see how hard he's going. He's going hard in the paint. Harder than he did for reparations for our people. Telling you to take this contaminant because he's not our people. So, of course, he's not going to represent you to the fullest. But I will tell you this, because the Most High won't let me sleep, okay, until I get this message out. As a people, read the book, read Leviticus, read the law. We were not supposed to receive contaminants in our bodies. Okay, we were not. If you study leprosy, white skin, which the law is against it, so that means it is a sin. If it was examined by the priest and deemed unclean, you are contaminated and you were separated and removed from the sanctuary. Hear me again. When they were deemed to be lepers, they were unclean. You know how they like to tell you that white skin is purity? This is not racism. I had a white preacher. You know her, Paula White. I did. So I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even know what that is. Okay, let's stick to the people who had time on their hands to come up with that foolishness. Next. So as I was saying, okay, it was considered an impurity, a contaminant, to have leprous white skin or certain raw red flesh or redness in your flesh. Okay. Now, it also helped us to differentiate our albinos from, who's he's talking about. But it goes deeper. I don't think y'all get the gravity of you listen to these little preachers telling you about, he's with us and God is there. No, he's not. No, he's not. He said he sent his anger. Read Ezekiel. Ladies, Lamentations. He sent the wormwood, the wrath against our people, y'all. If he was happy, you would be back where you were supposed to be. Who do you think the head of the beast is that received the deadly head sword? Hello, watchmen, where are you at? Not just watchmen reports. Where are you at? The sword is here. Read the book. When you had leprosy, you were cut off. When you had the plague, you were cut off. And interestingly enough, the Pope actually said it correctly the first time. But then he took it back. He said it correctly when he went to pray to that big heathen on the cross. When he said, this was something with plagues and blah, blah, blah. When you were deemed to have a plague, you were cut off because that's what happened. So now, come these days when our people were going through what we're going through, thank you very much, all of y'all that participated in the slave trade, took our history and our heritage and our culture. Some took it for themselves and our remembrance of anything, and you think that that's okay. You think, how dare we even try to talk about that? While you get to talk about your Viking heritage and your piracy and all your other whatever where you came from, and you think that we should have nothing, and then y'all out here caping for them. Black people, are you crazy? Get your right mind back, please. This is not where we're supposed to be. I guess what I'm really trying to say is the cutoff is here. The cutoff is here. From the moment they're telling us from as a child in their system, they have been injecting us with vaccinations, and they tell us, oh, we put a little bit of the disease in there, but they were using our ignorance against us. For lack of knowledge, my people perish. They were using our ignorance. We didn't know. You codependent to a system that hates you. It's always hated you. But on the flip side, let's talk about reap what you sow. The Most High said, you don't keep his commandments. Or better yet, he says, if you keep his commandments, it's how you show that you love him. So what do you think happens when you don't keep the commandments? Hatred, right? You disown him, you disregard him, kind of like what Esau does. Run about, throwing away, everything that his parents, his forefathers worked so hard for. Resisting the knowledge, talking about you Christian or you Islam or you Native American or all these other titles that you add on to yourselves. I don't never hear y'all put the Most High first, but you get mad at me when I try to tell you this. But none of your Native Americans and your FBA and ADOs or whatever other title you want to call yourself this year has told you this, have they? No, they haven't. But don't worry, y'all. Listen, you don't got to listen. Go ahead. Let Obama influence you. Let Biden influence you for that $1,400 stimulus check, because if you were free, you would need to be begging your enemies for nothing. Who told you that this was over? Did somebody tell you that we were out of captivity? I wonder who sent him. Which synagogue of Satan sent that one? Because you know that they have been way ahead of the game. There are people, because while they studying you, you should be studying them. Who they like to get ahead of the issues before you do, and then what? Completely colonize and take it over and slander and annihilate it when possible, when it no longer feeds them, like they say, like Professor Black Truth says, right? They break their toys. They discard you. After the love bombing stage is the most dangerous stage. Discardment. We done with you. We don't need you no more. They don't love you. What you think is love, you just another pawn to a bigger purpose. And that's only me talking in small bits, pieces. If I was to go bigger and focus on what our people really are going through, this is what I would say. Deuteronomy 28 was a supernatural occurrence. This is what y'all are not looking at. It was not a coincidence. It happened because the Most High said it would happen, and it did. Because whether you want to look at the frailties and the erroneous nature of our people and ignore it and coddle them and think that the Most High was big and bad for doing what he did, that's all on you. But I see through his eyes how our people treat each other. The slightest little thing, all I did was say, you don't fit. If it don't fit, it ain't legit. And oh my goodness, y'all came back like a powerhouse. Look how powerful you are to come together for the wrong things. But when it comes to the right things, you don't have no energy. You can't keep the same energy. You bawling, oh my goodness, the white man is more powerful. I can't. Oh no. I don't have the energy. Get your guns. We don't even know what we're fighting. But get your guns. These people have been trained. They are the sword. We're going to get to that scripture in a minute. They are the sword. They have been trained in this. You really think you're going to fight and win? You don't even know what you're fighting against? And that's why you had me. Not to fight and win, but to help you, to let you know, honey. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers. Hear me out. You want to hear this? Our forefather... No. Okay, or should I say who wrestled against principalities and powers on Mount Peniel and prevailed? Ladies, gentlemen, who? If you said Father Jacob, then you are absolutely correct. He did. On Mount Peniel, he wrestled against powers and principalities and he prevailed. Now, let's take it a little deeper. What did Jacob represent? He represented the law of life, the chosen of the Most High. He had the Most High on his side. The supernatural power to be wrestling against another supernatural entity. That's what you needed, and he prevailed because he represented, you ever heard another saying, the truth shall prevail? He's the truth. Not your other iniquities that your sword has set up to cut you off by. But he. Even Revelations, when we talk Revelation 7 verse 4, when we go and we said, this ain't Christians, it ain't Muslim, it ain't Catholics, it ain't none of the Presbyterians, it ain't none of your denominations that are represented as the saints. It is the people who he has always talked about. The disobedient people who he loves and chastised because he loved them. You were cut off. We were all Gentiles for a minute. And some of us received the truth and are hanging on to it for dear life. And the rest of y'all are still out here resisting. You Native American and you Christian and you this and you that. You're the Esau's. As you reject the truth of what the Most High has taught our people, you're fancying in the ways of the heathens, because the heathens are the one that brought this information, was it not? Was it not? And he has never gave them any of our holiness. He has never made them to be none of your prophets, none of the carriers of anything, no matter what you say. Because, honey, when the heathens, or you would bring in other nations into our sanctuary, like Phineas, Numbers 25 verse 1 to 13, what would happen? Our people would start developing plagues. And that's why Mr. Phineas had to do what he did. And he did what? The plague went away when he took out the Midianite woman and her disobedient son of perdition husband. Don't come for me, Molly. I know what I'm talking about, because this is what you should have been talking about. So I don't have to say a word. So there we are. So anybody want to tell me Ruth is a Moabite woman again? Because I'm sure that would have been a whole no-no. But if we were to get in just a little bit deeper, what were the other nations who were not seeking the Most High, but seeking the Most Low? What were they doing? Why were they contaminating themselves? Because if you haven't seen a lot of the craziness that happened during Obama's time, and you probably see it with Biden's time, that's probably why he wants to, stick you and trick you out with his drugs, because drugs should not have been the first choice for this. It had been shown that there are other healthier alternatives, but they're so pushing this. But don't worry. Don't worry, Biden. I'm not against it. Okay? I'm in no way, shape, or form. I just have to give the information. And they, as who they are, if you want to be cut out, that's fine. But let me say, they were practicing what? Dark arts, dark magic, contaminated themselves. You want to get a little idea of what that was? You saw a little bit of it in Obama. They were having sex with every and anything. The border of wickedness. If it could be done, they would do it. They were choosing the ways of death. Their sins were high. Okay? They were sacrificing their children, their babies. And you said the Most High was evil? That's why I don't listen to heathens. And if you do, honey, you are about to get the erroneous knowledge of your life. And you will stay in darkness. Come out from amongst them. Do you not understand when he said, touch not the unclean things? Think about that. And just like leprosy was unclean, what he said, touch not the unclean things, or else what? You become partakers of their sins. So unclean and filthy things, as what is stated in the law, comes with consequences. So if you want to, this is a whole different thing from way back when, before we got into the Deuteronomy 28 process. These people are a whole different level of, you touch them and you die, period. That's it. You become partakers of their sin. So Miss Megan Ark ain't even in our field no more. Not that she's ever been. So that's why he was telling you about these mams, is why they can't come into the sanctuary, because the sanctuary was for the holy people. Purified. That's what holy meant. Uncontaminated, unpolluted, clean. That's why he gave you the laws of things to eat, what to associate with, because you haven't realized yet, you're guilty or cursed by association. I know I got a lot to say, y'all, because I've been holding back. Remember, when did the curse or judgment of Deuteronomy 28 begin? It began when they came. Who am I talking about? The Europeans. They are your cursed. You're their good luck charm. They're only living their best life, and that's what they're trying to cement right now by contaminating your bloodline. Along with, remember we talked about leveling the playing field? If you ain't holy, honey, you ain't leveling no playing field. Okay? They don't care if they contaminate their people. They were already contaminated. That's what your little milky skin meant. That's why he was talking about polluted wombs. These people were polluting themselves, having sex with animals, drinking blood, pee, eating poo. You ask your little celebrities that sold their souls. Ask them, oh no, wait, they can't tell you. They probably signed many contracts to be that rich. You sell your soul, you can't help nobody no more. That's just gonna have to die with them, huh? You don't get all them riches in the world of sin trying to be righteous. But yeah, they were having sex with their mama, their daddy, their sister. You see this stuff happening, especially amongst a specific set of people, and you ignore it and you turn a blind eye. But there is a lesson to be learned, my loves. Do not turn away from the lesson, because that could be to your detriment. They do all this marrying silicone dolls, all these perpetual nonsense, and you didn't really know what to do with it. But that is the ways of the heathen. That's what you want to marry into. That's what you want in your bloodline. You don't even know what the hell they are. I've told you this before. But you're going to let these ginger bingers tell you are what your father is. Okay. The only thing you did was contaminate up your bloodline. That's all you did, sweetheart. And the contamination was no fault of ours. Once again, like Megan's situation is no fault of ours. That's your personal choice. They wanted the dark things. They wanted the ways of evil. They wanted the wicked. And that's why they're on their beds day and night, constantly thinking of wickeder things to do daily. That's not my fault. That's not your fault. Tentatively speaking. Okay? And because of that, what did he say? He will use what they meant for bad against you for your good, which is what's going to happen if you stay the path. Because my righteous brothers and sisters, you sit as heirs and heiresses to the greatest kingdom to ever come. If you're willing to actually listen. All the rest of y'all who want to, the Most High ain't the first on your priority list. It's claiming stuff you don't even have. Because the scripture says the meek shall inherit the earth. So you're wasting your time. You're wasting your whole time. The meek shall inherit the earth. Next. You sit as heirs and heiresses to the greatest kingdom. Our little Gentilians, our people, the Esau's, reject the knowledge. They're like, nah, I'm sticking with Jesus. Or they go into some other wayward, because I think they said majority of our people, you find them in either European slave trade religion, one heathen religion to the other, or Ishmael's Arab slave trade religion. I don't know why y'all are in there, but the scripture's talking about you. The whore of Babylon. The one who decks themselves to become like they do the opposite of what the Most High said. He said, you are amongst them, but you are not supposed to be what? You're not supposed to participate. Like we said, they didn't need your vote. They just need your participation. Everything, they need your participation. These people treat you like nothing, but you are everything. And once you give over your bloodline and you get cut off because you think the Most High is playing with you, I feel his wrath. I feel why he's angry. Okay, because when they'll see you arguing over Cuomo about, he black on the inside and singing good time songs, that's what you out here having, you can come to the cookout, that nonsense. That's what's on your priority list. While they are sharp and mission focused. They done went from pins and needles to now they killing you nicely and silently with honey and smiles. They just transformed. These Decepticons went to transformational stages on your asses. And one way or the other, as I said before, listen, I'm not against what y'all are doing. The Most High has ordained it. And if you really realize it, it is doing us a favor, because the dead weight, which the whore of Babylon represents, is dragging us down. And it might not look like it that, it's them they're after, but it's really them that he's gathering for the great harvest. Don't be fooled. Don't take your eyes off the prize, lovies. Okay? Because as much as I was saying, maybe the men would say this, the Most High put it in me, and I'm like, okay, fine. Okay, fine. Because honestly, if y'all ain't listening, and y'all out here focusing on some 1/3 and some what Megan is saying this year, or every other distraction that they got going on, and trying to bring Obama back so he can influence you, you're no good to us. Focus. 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 So you can either lose your kingdom, which is very close, but you ever about to get a promotion, and then you don't realize it, but at the very last minute, that's when you flub up if you've been working so hard, and then you just lose everything. This is one you don't want to lose, okay, lovies? So I gotta go. I gotta run. As always, we'll talk again. Stay safe. Stay prayed up. Don't forget perpetual power prayers. Shalom.